News, Matt in the building. What's good, y'all? I hope you're having a blessed day. Vertical Academy and Mikey Williams just suffered the biggest loss in program's history. Look, I understand they've only been around for 3 games. However, I would go on to say, I don't know if they're going to lose a game by more than what they just did this year. Actually, let me go back on that statement. I hope for the players' sake, they don't have a defeat as bad as this game. The highlights are on Ball is Life or some other mixtape companies. Montverde, they destroyed them. They won 88-48. If you had to ask me, it wasn't even that close. Strangely enough, the first quarter wasn't that lopsided. At the end of one, it was 17-14. I thought, hey, maybe Vertical Academy could get some breaks here and there and make it a close game in the fourth. I was wrong. The way that Montverde went about this game, it reminded me of how a boxer feels out their opponent in the first to second rounds. In the first quarter, they were seeing how Vertical Academy was going to play them on defense, seeing what matchups to exploit and where to attack. By the time the second quarter rolled around, they turned up the intensity. Going into halftime, it was roughly a 25-point margin. You could see in the way the body language was from the Vertical players, they didn't want to be there much longer. You can't blame the kids. I got this vibe, if you go watch the highlights, you can see it for yourself. It appears that the Vertical Academy players aren't even trying to rebound. Every single time that Montverde missed a shot, or 98% of the time, they got their own rebound and put it back in. When you see the score or hear the score, 88-48, your immediate reaction is, oh, Vertical Academy, they must have played bad. I don't think so. In my opinion, this was a simple case of one team outmatching the other. Every player on Montverde was roughly 6'5" or taller. Every guy they matched up with, they had the size advantage. Not only did they have the size advantage when we're talking about height, they also had the size advantage when we're talking about physical appearance. If you lined up these players beside each other, you could tell who's working out and eating the right nutrition diet every single day. Them kids at Montverde, they're working out 2 to 3 times a day. They got personal trainers and personal nutritionists. They were taller, they're more bulkier, they're quicker, faster, and stronger. You get the point. They were too much to handle. It's almost like at the beginning of college football season when you got Alabama playing these small FBS or FCS schools. Here's where things started to get really out of hand. Vertical Academy, they couldn't stick a man-to-man, so they went zone. If you're playing a good or great high school basketball team, you can't play zone. Almost everybody can shoot now. That's what happened. Vertical went to zone, Montverde lit it up. Sadly enough, Vertical only has 2 really good players, Trey Parker, Mikey Williams. Besides that, you're not going to get too much out of anybody else. I know most of you are curious, did Mikey play good, did he play bad? It was another so-so game. I say he had a good performance. He wasn't forcing a ton of shots. I know I spoke on it before. That's what's impressing me in his game as he continues to grow and get older. He's got a lot of pressure on him to go out there and drop 30 every single night, or else people like you in the comment section are going to say he's falling off or it's all hype. He's not really that good. We can't relate, but let me tell you something. It's hard to go out there and not try to force and go after your 20 to 25 points when you know if you don't do good, people are going to clown you on the internet. I'm big on scoring. That's how I evaluate players. It's not just me. That's how most people evaluate them, by their scoring performances. I do like to look at it from this standpoint, though. We've raved and talked about how Bronny's not going out there and scoring 20, 25 points. He'll go out there and he only scores 6 to 8. And why I am a little harsher on Bronny is for this reason. The difference between Mikey Williams and Bronny James is when Mikey's not scoring 20 to 25 points, it's because he's getting double teamed. He's being aggressive. He's just not forcing shots. On the flip side with Mr. Bronny, he's not getting double teamed. He has a one-on-one matchup. He doesn't look to attack though. Bronny doesn't necessarily look to score or even attack recently. That's what I've noticed in his game. I've seen a lot of progress in Mikey's game. 2 or 3 years ago, yeah, he was averaging 30 points per game. It looked cool on YouTube. It looked good on the paper. But he wasn't a polished basketball player. He was being reckless. He would shoot 1-foot contested fadeaways. He was shooting reckless shots. Now, you don't see that. Almost all of his shots he shoots, they look good. They're smart. You shouldn't even trip about Mikey only dropping 10 to 14 points if he's playing a team of this caliber and they're focusing on him. Players that have that dog-like mentality, I see it in Mikey, DJ Wagner, Imani Bates, there's many, I can go on and on. They all have one thing in common. They have a switch. They can turn it off and they can turn it on. When you're talking about Mikey, why everyone is so high on him, it's for the reason I just said. He's got that switch. If he turns it on, he's hot. It's not when he hits one shot. Normally after he hits 2 to 3, he's going to take a heat check, and if he hits that, he may go for 40. Getting back on track with where I was going, you see 2 to 3 years ago, that switch, it never went off. It was always on. Yes, it's a good thing. It can also be a bad thing. He was forcing way too many shots. He wasn't looking for his teammates, whereas now, he's more of a overall sound playmaker. Me, you, everybody in the world, we know Mikey Williams can score. He doesn't have to prove that to us. That's why I'm impressed with him being patient this season and to start it. It's not even, oh, Mikey and Trey, they played bad. I thought they were fine. Vertical Academy as a team, I thought they were okay. Montverde is simply that good. Every guy on that team is more than likely going to go D1. Last but not least, let's end it off with this. I want to speak on this and I want you to give me your opinion down below in the comment section. Where does Vertical Academy go from here? This isn't your typical high school team that's going to play a easy public school schedule. They're going to be playing in some big time tournaments similar to this one. So this is why I'm still mind boggled by this. If you're going to enter these big time tournaments, you need some big time players to surround Mikey and Trey with. No disrespect to any other players on Vertical Academy. The big weakness I see in this team right now, they don't have enough size. They need a couple of big men to add to the roster. If they would have had a 7-footer or a couple of 6'9" guys, this Montverde game, it would have came out differently. I still think they would have lost, but it may have been closer. Unless they pick up some power forwards or centers, they're going to have a rough time. You got to keep in mind they're also playing Bronny's team in the future. I don't think they stand a chance right now. Let me know what you think about all this in the comment section down below. But with that being said, it's going to wrap up this video. Hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys learned something. If there's any news, send it to me on Instagram at BeGreatYT. And if you want, you can follow me. If you're new to this channel, hit that subscribe button and leave a like for more. And as always, let's be great. I'm out. Y'all. Peace.